You just checked your savings account. $10,000. For the first time in your life, you have 5 figures. $10,000. You stare at the number. Something feels different. Not because you're rich. You're not. $10,000 doesn't make you wealthy. But something in your brain just shifted. Yesterday, when your car made a weird noise, you panicked. Today, you think, I can handle that. Yesterday, you avoided looking at bills. Today, you open them calmly. Yesterday, every unexpected expense felt like a crisis. Today, you have options. You crossed an invisible line. And on the other side of that line, everything is different. This is the $10,000 rule. And once you understand it, you'll never think about money the same way again. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to finally have money saved and why that first $10,000 changes everything, stay with me because what I'm about to show you will completely shift how you think about building wealth. My name is Mike and I make videos about how money actually works in real life. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. I'm sharing what I learned about the psychology of the $10,000 threshold. Talk to a professional about your situation. Here's the deal. There's something magical about $10,000. Not because it's enough money to retire. Not because it makes you rich. But because it's the exact amount that changes how your brain works. When you have $200 saved, you still think like someone who's broke. When you have $1,000 saved, you still make desperate decisions. When you have $5,000 saved, you're getting close but you're still afraid. But when you hit $10,000, something clicks. Your brain stops operating in survival mode. You start thinking in terms of possibilities instead of emergencies. You stop paying the poverty tax. You stop making fear-based financial decisions. The money didn't make you rich. It made you rational. The villain here is what I call the desperation cycle. When you're living paycheck to paycheck with no savings, every decision is desperate. Your car needs an $800 repair. You don't have $800. So you put it on a credit card at 23% interest. Or you take a payday loan at 391% interest. Or you skip the repair and hope the car keeps running, which makes the problem worse. You're not making bad decisions because you're dumb. You're making desperate decisions because you have no options. And desperate decisions cost more. They keep you broke. But there's a catch. Once you have $10,000 saved, the desperation cycle breaks. Same $800 repair. You have the cash. You pay it. No interest. No desperation. Problem solved. The savings didn't just give you money. It gave you the ability to make rational decisions. And rational decisions save you money, which builds more savings, which gives you more options. The cycle reversed. Let me show you exactly what changes when you hit $10,000. First, you stop paying poverty taxes, overdraft fees, payday loan interest, late payment penalties, credit card interest on emergencies. All of these only exist because you didn't have cash. A study found that the average American pays $1,500 per year in these unnecessary fees. When you have $10,000, you pay zero. That's $1,500 per year you keep instead of giving to banks. Over 10 years, that's $15,000. Second, you can buy quality instead of cheap. You can afford the $180 boots that last 5 years instead of the $40 boots that last 6 months. You can buy the reliable used car instead of the cheap car that breaks. You can invest in things that save you money long term. Third, and this is the biggest one, you think differently. You stop thinking, can I afford this? And start thinking, is this worth it? Those are completely different questions. Can I afford it means you're desperate. You'll overpay just to survive. Is this worth it means you're choosing. You have power. The $10,000 gave you that power. Stop right now and think about the last desperate financial decision you made. Would you have made it if you had $10,000 in the bank? Probably not. That's the rule. Let me show you two versions of the same person. Person A and Person B. Both make $50,000 per year. Both have the same expenses. The only difference is savings. Person A has $600 in their account, living paycheck to paycheck. Person B has $10,000 saved. Same person. Different threshold. Something unexpected happens. Car needs $1,200 in repairs. Here's what Person A does. They don't have $1,200. Panic sets in. They put it on a credit card at 22% interest. They are already carrying a $3,000 balance. Now it's $4,200. Monthly payment goes from $120 to $168. That's $48 more per month they don't have. So next month, they overdraft. $35 fee. Then another $35 fee. They are drowning. The car repair triggered a cascade of financial damage. Over the next year, Person A pays $850 in credit card interest and fees just from this one emergency. Total cost of the repair, $2,050. Person B has the same emergency. Car needs $1,200. They have $10,000. They pay cash. Repair is done. Account now has $8,800. They tighten their budget for 2 months. Save $600. Account back to $9,400. 3 more months of normal saving. They are back to $10,000. No credit card debt. No interest. No fees. No stress. Total cost of the repair, $1,200. Person A paid $2,050 and is now in debt. Person B paid $1,200 and is still fine. Same emergency, different outcome. All because of the $10,000 threshold. Which version of you are you right now? Person A desperately reacting or Person B calmly handling? Comment below because most of us started as Person A. Now here's where the psychology gets really interesting. Scientists have studied this. There's something called financial scarcity mindset. When you don't have money, your brain literally functions differently. You make worse decisions. Not because you're less intelligent, because your brain is overwhelmed with survival anxiety. You can't think clearly. You can't plan long-term. You're stuck in reaction mode. But when you have a cushion, when you have $10,000, your brain calms down. The anxiety decreases. You can think clearly. You can plan. You can see opportunities instead of just threats. The money didn't make you smarter. It removed the cognitive load of constant financial stress. And that changed everything. But there's a catch most people don't realize. Getting to $10,000 is hard. Really hard. Especially if you're starting from zero. It took me 2 years to save my first $10,000. 2 years of saying no. 2 years of side hustles. 2 years of eating cheap. 2 years of no vacations. It was brutal. But once I hit $10,000, something shifted. The second $10,000 took 10 months. The third took 8 months. Each one got easier. Why? Because I stopped paying poverty taxes. Because I made better decisions. Because the desperation cycle broke. The first $10,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save. But it's also the most important. Here's what nobody tells you about building wealth. It's not linear. It's exponential. Getting from $0 to $10,000 is harder than getting from $10,000 to $25,000. Getting to $25,000 is harder than getting to $50,000. The first $10,000 take forever, but it's a foundation for everything else. Because once you have it, you stop bleeding money on fees and desperation decisions. And every dollar you save after that builds faster. Let me show you the actual numbers. You make $50,000 per year. After taxes, you take home about $38,000. Your expenses are $3,000 per month. That's $36,000 per year. You have $2,000 left over. But you're living paycheck to paycheck. Where's the $2,000 going? Fees, overdrafts, credit card interest, buying cheap products that break, late fees, higher costs because you can't buy in bulk. The poverty tax is eating your $2,000. You save nothing. But here's the catch. If you somehow manage to save that first $10,000, you'd stop paying those fees. Now that $2,000 actually goes to savings. The second $10,000 takes 5 years instead of never. And it compounds from there. The first $10,000 is the wall. Once you climb it, everything changes. Now I can hear the objection. Mike, I can't save $10,000. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. There's no extra money. I know. I've been there. I lived on $1,800 per month for 2 years to save my first $10,000. It's hard, but here's what you need to understand. You're already spending the money. You're just spending it on poverty taxes instead of savings. Overdraft fees, interest, cheap product that break. You're bleeding money. The goal is to redirect that money to savings instead. Here's how you do it. First, track every fee you pay for 1 month. Overdrafts, late payments, ATM fees, credit card interest, all of it. Add it up. Most people find $100 to $200 per month in fees. Second, eliminate the fees. Switch to a free bank. Set up autopay. Pay off the credit card. Stop the bleeding. Third, take that $100 to $200 and put it in savings. In 5 years, that's $10,000. I know 5 years sounds like forever, but here's the truth. The 5 years are going to pass anyway. You can spend the next 5 years paying fees and staying broke, or you can spend the next 5 years building your $10,000. Your choice. But there's something else that happens at $10,000. You start seeing opportunities. When you're broke, you can't see opportunities. You're too busy surviving. But when you have $10,000, opportunities become visible. Your friend is selling a car you know is worth $8,000. They need cash fast. They'll sell it for $5,000. If you're broke, you can't do anything. If you have $10,000, you buy it. Sell it for $7,500. Made $2,500. That opportunity was always there, but you couldn't see it without the cash. Or your company offers a certification course. Costs $2,000, but it qualifies you for a promotion worth $10,000 more per year. If you're broke, you can't afford it. If you have $10,000, it's an obvious investment. Return $10,000 per year for $2,000 upfront. The opportunities don't appear when you get money. They were always there. You just couldn't access them. Here's the bottom line. $10,000 is not about being rich. It's about crossing the threshold from desperate to rational, from paycheck to having options, from paying poverty taxes to keeping your money, from survival mode to opportunity mode. The first $10,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save. It's also the most transformative, because it doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your brain. It changes how you make decisions. It changes what you can see. It changes everything. Here's what you should do starting today. First, commit to the goal. $10,000, not $5,000, not as much as I can. Exactly $10,000. Your brain needs a specific target. Second, eliminate one poverty tax, one overdraft fee avoided, one late payment prevented, one payday loan you don't take. Redirect that money to savings. Third, automate it. Every paycheck, move money to savings first. Even if it's $50, even if it's $25, make it automatic so you can't talk yourself out of it. Fourth, track your progress. Celebrate every $1,000. You hit $3,000? That's momentum. You hit $7,000? You're so close. The tracking keeps you motivated. Your future self is watching you right now. They are 5 years in the future. They are looking back at this moment, and they are begging you to start. They are telling you that having $10,000 feels completely different than having $0. They are telling you that the desperation cycle finally broke. They are telling you that they can breathe. They are telling you that life got so much easier after the first $10,000. They are telling you that everything changed. Listen to them. They are you, and they know. The system wants you to stay in the desperation cycle. Banks make billions from your overdraft fees. Payday lenders profit from your emergencies. Cheap product makers count on you not being able to afford quality. They all need you to stay broke. But you're not going to stay broke, because now you know about the $10,000 rule, and you're going to cross that threshold. It won't be easy. It won't be fast, but it will change everything. So tell me in the comments, where are you right now? $0, $2,000, $7,000, already past $10,000? No judgment. Just share your number. And if you're past $10,000, tell everyone how it felt when you crossed that line. Let's build a community of people who understand the rule. And if this video just showed you why the first $10,000 changes everything, smash that like button and subscribe, because I'm making more videos showing you exactly how to build wealth step by step. Let's cross that threshold together.